It all starts with a really simple, universal question that, let's be honest, every dog owner has thought about. How do you really know if your dog likes its food? I mean, you can't just ask them, right? This was the huge business problem that the pet food brand Pedigree had to solve. And their answer? Well, it was the Pedigree Tail Orchestra, a campaign so creatively brilliant that people are still studying it as a masterclass in marketing today. Get this, the core idea was a live event where genuinely happy dogs used their wagging tails to conduct a real human orchestra. And yeah, if that sounds completely fantastical, that's because it absolutely was. This whole groundbreaking campaign came from Pedigree down in New Zealand. At its heart, it was this incredible experiential event that literally translated tail wags into music. It became a landmark case study in what it means to put your customer, and yep, in this case, the customer is the dog, at the absolute center of our marketing. Now, to really appreciate the genius of what they did, you first have to understand the problem Pedigree was up against. We can call it the happiness problem. I mean, think about it for a second. In just about any other industry, the person buying the product is the one using it. But with pet food, the human buys it, but the dog's the one who eats it. The buyer can't taste it to judge the quality for themselves, so how on earth do you convince them your product is the best? Pedigree's team came up with this brilliant strategy to solve this, the Happiness Proxy. They knew they needed an undeniable, observable sign that could represent a dog's internal feeling of joy. And what did they land on? You guessed it, the tail wag. It's perfect, isn't it? It's universal, it's impossible to fake, and every single dog owner on the planet recognizes it as a pure sign of happiness and health. The tail wag basically became their version of a 5-star review. So they had the core insight, but how do you actually turn a tail wag into an entire orchestral performance? Well, that took a masterful blend of some really cool technology and creativity. They developed a system called Wag Track Tech. Here's the breakdown. First, high-speed cameras and sensors captured every single detail of a dog's tail movement. Second, all that raw data was instantly translated into MIDI signals, which is kind of the digital language of music. And third, those signals were fed to a live orchestra, controlling what they played in real time. The dog was literally the conductor. And this wasn't just some gimmick. The strategy was so powerful because it gave a voice to the voiceless. For the first time ever, a dog could speak its happiness through the universal language of music. And that created this really profound emotional connection with the audience. This had a huge, transformative impact on the brand's image. Pedigree went from being just another company selling kibble to being seen as a brand that actually facilitates joy and strengthens the bond between an owner and their pet. And the results really speak for themselves. The campaign was just so heartwarming and visually compelling that it completely exploded on social media. A staggering 70% of its reach came from organic sharing. That's just people wanting to show this amazing thing to their friends. That made it incredibly efficient because they had to spend way less on paid ads. So why are we still talking about this campaign all these years later? Because its influence goes far, far beyond just a clever ad. Its legacy is still shaping the marketing world today. A major impact was that it cemented Pedigree's status as a mass premium brand. Think of it like this. It's a product you can find in any supermarket, but it carries the prestige and the price point of a specialty item. And how'd they do it? By associating the brand with these really sophisticated, high-culture concepts like orchestral music and innovative technology. That elevated perception lets them justify a price point that's above all the generic store brands. It just makes the product feel more valuable. It also created this powerful business model you could call the brand love flywheel. It starts with the campaign creating genuine brand love. From there, Pedigree channels that positive feeling into community work, like adoption drives. And then, to complete the circle, when people adopt those pets, they often become loyal, lifelong customers. It's this perfect, self-sustaining cycle of goodwill and good business. And if you look at the bigger picture, this campaign was truly ahead of its time. It was a clear precursor to the kind of generative, experiential marketing we see everywhere today, where brands use data and AI to create these unique, personalized experiences for customers. The lasting innovation of the Tail Orchestra is actually pretty simple, but it's also profound. It proved that raw, biometric data from a living being could be transformed into a genuine work of art. It just broke down that barrier between data science and creative expression. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. This campaign took one of the simplest data points imaginable, the speed and direction of a wagging tail, and turned it into something beautiful and meaningful. It really makes you wonder, if a dog's tail can write a symphony, what incredible stories are just waiting to be told from the data that's all around us?